Yo, welcome back to the show, everybody. Naps indeed do a body good. They do. I'm like, yo, after I did the Broly joint, my body was like, yo, T, we need a nap, baby. I'm like, I know you ready to get back to the grind, get back to the business, continue to serve the folks what it is that they need, but we need us a nap. So I was like, I fought for a minute, had something to eat, talked to Jay about some plans, but finally, I was just like, okay, body, you win. Got a nap, feeling good. Regardless of that, welcome back to the show, everybody. Yo, we have the true legendary Super Saiyan to talk about, Bardock. And you might be talking about, yo, earlier in this show trip, you already talked about a legendary Super Saiyan. You'd be technically correct. Let me explain for those who don't really know, like, the history of getting Bardock over on people. See, at one time, because of the Budokai games, I'm like, Bardock was my guy. Like, I appreciated that, yo, this is the father of Goku, and he a beast all his own. He's not a Super Saiyan, he just Saiyan guy who's really angry and throws riot javelins at people. And I'm sitting up here like, yo, I am completely super alright with that. That, yeah, you sat up here after all of that trying to convince people that Frieza's a bad guy and the whole Saiyan race is eliminated, and you technically get the mark of honor of being the last Saiyan eradicated off the face of the earth. And that was okay. Then episode of Bardock happened. See, it is at this point where I'm just kind of like, what? So what you're telling me, this is what you're telling me. Bardock, about to be wiped off the face of existence, is plucked from being wiped off the face of existence, dropped into another world, something about fuck the police, because now I'm getting into a British-land here, and then you become the Super Saiyan that is feared throughout time. I never understand it. Never understood it. At this juncture, when we're talking about Bardock right now, I still don't get it. I don't get why episode of Bardock was ever a thing. Like, we talked about this earlier a little bit, about how it's, you know how Broly got Super Saiyan 4 forms and crazy nonsense like that. You know, I'm alright with that. Like, and now, even sitting right here in the newsroom, that's something I'm alright with. I don't think I have ever fully accepted that Bardock is the Saiyan that is feared throughout all of time, that makes Frieza shit his pants, but you're the same Saiyan that gets eliminated off the face of the earth by the same guy. But Dragon Ball Super also exists, and so does Dragon Ball GT. Things just happen. And I think at this point, that because I've had this confessional, and I'm fresh from this nap, and I'm thinking about how cool I thought Bardock was until episode of Bardock threw all of that down the toilet, I accept. I'm not holding no ill will against a fictional character for something that the fictional character had nothing to do with. Nothing. I think Gon is an amazing assist in Extreme Butoden, because, yo, a DP1 assist heals 1,000 points. It's a wonderful, magical thing. Like, Goku's whole family is off the chain. I wonder what Raditz would look like as a Super Saiyan. Questions I've had. I think there's something that there's a picture of Raditz as a Super Saiyan, but there's also that picture of Goku where he's Super Saiyan, I don't know what, with the silver hair and Grandpa Gohan. Look, we're getting off subject here. Look, we were supposed to watch a trailer, but I really think that I needed to take this time and I needed to just put out there, Bardock, I forgive you. I forgive you for something that isn't your fault, because some Toei executive wanted to make sure that Bardock got fully over. But at the same time, when I think about it in the logic in thereof, you needed a Super Saiyan to answer the question of who is it that Frieza fears so badly, but thanks to Chill getting wiped off the face of the planet and him passing it down, it had to be somebody. So why not Bardock? I've come full circle. It took me 5 whole minutes to discuss this and to get in myself and to find inner peace. I accept. I accept. So, I wonder. I do indeedly wonder. As we get ready to activate trailer.exe, does Bardock go Super Saiyan in Dragon Ball FighterZ? How about we activate trailer.exe and we find out about Nowish. Rated T for Teen. Unreal Engine 4. Here we go. Ride Javelin, baby. Okay, so we do go Super Saiyan, alright. So him going Super Saiyan is canon. Okay. Alright. Answers my question. Going Super Saiyan for Bardock is canon. But I haven't played a Dragon Ball game where he actually does that in years, so there's also that. See, here's one thing I want to address before we move on through our news day. Is people got really weird when they announced Broly and Bardock as DLC characters. Like, you really think that those two weren't going to make this roster in any way? You really thought Super Saiyan lesbians were really going to overwrite Broly? No. I don't really think there's another character in the Dragon Ball mythos that can take the place of Bardock as a cornerstone of what this franchise is when you talk about characters that are important and that represent it. You just heard of these characters. Broly and Bardock have been things for years on years on years on years. You really didn't think they'd make this roster? Because here's a fun fact for you, just to think about. In most games that these two are characters in, they're usually the characters that are either the last to unlock or characters that have to be unlocked via a code. So they're always around somewhere, because that just proves how important they are to the mythos when it comes to including them as characters. It sucks you gotta pay $5 a piece for them, but at least you have the option. Now, you know what I'm saying? Not every game can be Street Fighter V, and you could play enough Dragon Ball FighterZ to earn enough something to unlock the characters, which would be nice, but you do what you can. That's why they call it a business transaction. So, I hope we've learned a lot, because I have. I accept episode of Bardock for exactly what it is. I do. I accept it for exactly what it is, and Bardock is still my guy. See, it's like for a minute, is that for real? Like when I watched the abridged version of episode of Bardock, it reminded me like how dumb him going Super Saiyan was. And it's like I had to sit on that for a while. Because when I watched the episode of Bardock back in the day, I'm like, oh, Bardock going Super Saiyan? But then when you sit on that for years and years and years, and then it's re-putting your face in a way that's not quite different, which doesn't change the myth of what it actually is, because that's what a Brit series do. You sit here and think about that like, well, I don't get it now. You went from, yo, this is hype to, you don't get it. And then get on the video to talk about the character in the video game, who's the DLC character, to finally understand that, well, it had to be somebody. You could have used random insert Saiyan, but no, you use Bardock. That makes sense. He leaves his mark that no one knows that happened as a legendary Super Saiyan with no name. I know some game actually answers that probably. Pick a Xenoverse game or some game, you know. Look. We've had a good time here today. We still got more show to go. We still have more show to go. More ride javelins. But we getting out of Dragon Ball FighterZ land. We gonna go somewhere else. I'm like, I've done all I can here. You can buy the DLC characters, get the season pass, whatever it is you're gonna do to get your Bardock and your Broly on, if that's what you decide to do. With that being said, because I was trying to find a segue. Next on this show, witches. Yep, witches. Now, I'm not talking about water, fire, earth, and air, Guardians Unite witch. No, because that show was off the chain. Greg Wiseman continues to be shitted on for no reason. Irma's the best. So, this is like if you're asking who's my favorite witch character, the answer is Irma. Okay? Irma. I-R-M-A, Irma. Irma's the best. Just there. Cornelia, close second. I'm like, Will up there somewhere. Hey, Lynn in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Tarani, she cool. You go interesting places right there, but Irma's the best. Just putting that out there. But for real, when we come back, witches. Not Witch the show. Not Buffy the Vampire Slayer witches. Not Twitched, because that's a Disney thing. Am I missing something? Oh, I'm missing something very important. Not Charmed. Not before or after. And I repeat it, before or after Brenda Walsh, son. Not before or after Brenda Walsh. I'm just putting it out there. Shout out to Shannon Doherty. Shout out to Alyssa Milano. You know what I'm saying? Doing their thing, guys. I am the sun and the air. I am human and I need to be. Look, we are going to a damn commercial break, and when we come back, damn it, we are talking about witches. The one on triple the G.O.D. live in the Team GRF newsroom. See you guys after these commercial messages, man.